And there's another set of notes I gotta share. PGA, I don't need. No, I don't want a picture. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Go back out, come back in, and good. OFA, optimal flexible architecture. Here we go. I want you guys to look at this diagram. Now that's the Windows one, we go to Unix. I want all of us to look at this diagram a little bit carefully with our eyes open and make a copy so that if I dirty this one, I can give you guys a clean copy. It's one of those diagrams I want you guys to print and keep on your walls. Yeah, just made a copy of that. Okay, here we go. If you look at this diagram, guys, it says optimal flexible architecture. We're trying to install Oracle. That's Oracle 11G in Unix. That's our goal. And the first thing I want you guys to remember is this. When we're installing this Oracle, guys, on a computer, all computers have hard drives. We will be installing on top of hard drives. And to install Oracle, one of the things that Oracle recommends is that we have multiple mount points, i.e. multiple hard drives, at least three hard drives if we're going to be installing Oracle. So on these 3 hard drives, what we will do, turn my camera here so these guys can see me. Curtis, can you see me?
Yes, I see.
On these 3 hard drives, guys, what we're going to do is they'll take the Oracle and they'll say, hey, we have 3 mount points, because each of these hard drives will be connected to the motherboard of the computer. They call them mount points. It's not partition, mount points. So when they're connected there, what we do is we want to install Oracle. We could say, okay, we start with U01. We'll call this one U01. Oracle wants us to call them U01, U02, U03. I always want to write them use U, but what it means for user, I don't know. But U01 is our number 1 hard drive. We install Oracle in U01. So Oracle base and Oracle home would be here. Then we are going to create folders that will contain. So first thing, you download your Oracle somewhere. And what you might do is, in most cases, guys, people will have maybe like a fat hard drive somewhere, just some big storage. You download the Oracle software. We're here. You unzip it. It's here. Then you configure your bash profile on the Linux machine, wherever your home is. Your home doesn't necessarily have to be here, not at all. You configure the bash profile and say Oracle base equals U01 app Oracle. Those are folders you've created. Then Oracle home, it will be inside Oracle base. You define that. Then after that, the next thing you do is you say, okay, this is to that U01, that's where I'm going to install Oracle. After I install Oracle, I need to create a database. I need to put the database files in an organized fashion. That's why they say it's a hierarchical organizational system of directories. Oracle base is nothing but a directory, guys. It's a directory. Oracle home is a directory. Okay. Then we say, okay, we're going to create wherever we keep our data files, we're going to call that folder Aura Data, standing for Oracle Data Files. So keep Aura Data here in U01, Aura Data in U02, Aura Data in U03. So we have 3 places that we can keep data files, even though we have the software here. Then we'll start to install Oracle. So, okay, software is here, so we can put our data files here. Most of the data files here. That's why we did pick U02. You guys remember? Software is here. Then that is all my data files at this point are pointed to this location. Then now, during the installation, I say I need 3 control files so that one will be backup. So I'll have 2 backups. Okay? So I put my control file number 1, number 2, and number 3. So that if this hard drive dies, I still have a control file here, and I still have 1 here. Because Oracle needs only 1 to survive. Okay? So that's why we do that. If not, we need just 1 control file. Then we say, okay, radio log files. We know we need at least 2 groups of radio log files. And we also know that that radio log file, the log writer will write in there every 3 minutes, every 3 seconds. That is a lot, like continuously. So the pin of that drive will almost constantly be spinning, writing archive, writing radio log entries. So, I'm going to put one radio log file here, 1 radio log file here, and 1 here, so that when Oracle, the log writer is writing on this one, because when the log writer is using, guys, that pin is moving. So while that pin is moving here, if I happen to have the archival process running, I could say, I want to archive on this big hard drive that I have. So when the log writer is writing, right here, and the switches is writing here, the archiver can copy from here to here, right? Then the log writer switches there. And this guy finishes, start doing that. When this one finishes, he's going to come here. And that guy starts doing that. So that those pins, we're exchanging how they are working for those 2 serious processes. You guys see that? Those are 2 processes that are working very hard. So we don't want them to be on the same thing at the same time. Otherwise, that miserable pin will be confused. And they call that contention. That will slow down your database. You guys get the point? So, most of the time in our database, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. This one will be like for backups. The archiver is going to be writing here. Backup is going to be going here. If you have any other dumb files, we'll put them. This one might be the biggest one because the entire database will also sit here as a backup. Okay? So, as a matter of fact, I have a drive to use just for that little explanation. Yeah, that one could be like double hard drive, double space. But that's where our backups go to. Okay. So looking at this diagram, let's go back to the diagram on board. If you look at that diagram, guys, you notice U01. As a matter of fact, I summarize it up here in this diagram. You guys see that up there? U01 will be my Oracle home. .ctl stands for what? Control file. That's the extension for control file. And .rdo, radio log file, or you call it .log. But in reality, we learned something. If you call them .log, sometimes in the Unix system, right, especially at the real job, the DBA will be there, the sysadmin will be there, they all work on the same Unix machine. At the operating system level is the system administrator. And sometimes the system administrator, they can decide to just clean the entire Linux machine, taking away every file that ends with .log, because they are log files. After a while, you don't need them for anything. And if the sysadmin doesn't know, it runs a script to clean all .log files inside your machine. It gets rid of your radio log files. You get the point? Because you'll be looking for any file that ends with .log. So for that reason, smart DBAs put .rdo instead of putting .log. You get the point? That RDO is like short form of radio log file. As well as some people actually put it .redo. Okay. So U02, I put my data files, control file, and redo. And U03, more data files, control files, and redo. You guys see that? And then that third drive, we usually call it Oracle backup drive. So we put that Oracle back is usually big. That's where we keep our backups. Because sometimes my backup the same database twice. If that database is 10 terabytes, it means you need 20 terabytes to back it up. So that's how come we make like a humongous, big space. Because if it fills up, the entire database will stop. So you never want it to fill up. Okay. So U01, U02. So, oh, by the way, let's go to U01. So inside U01, I'll create a folder. Look at that red folder. I create a folder called Aura Data. And inside Aura Data will be a folder with the database name. You remember when we created this, you guys saw something that said had that bracket with instance. What was that thing? Remember when we were changing the regular file names or location? It was like slash U01 or a data slash something. But that actually gives you your database name. If you create a database with any name, Oracle will automatically create that green folder for you. Now you don't have to specify. Oracle will intentionally create a folder with the database name. So if you create 10 databases, right? Inside Oracle Data, you're going to have 10 folders. Inside Oracle Base Admin, you're going to have 10 folders with the database names. Then guys, then watch here. We often name the regular files something like this, or the control files. Controls, often they do control 01. But if you care, you could put in control 1. But often they'll do 01. So what I'm saying is, often that name, you see it by default, it will be a 0. So that you can go up to 10, you can go up to 99. And the names will still be the same length. Yeah. You get the point? Yeah. And for the redo, as a matter of fact, you guys watch. The redo, you're always going to have A. Oops, we get another color. You're going to have redo 01A. You know how to put A? Redos are in groups, right? Redo logs are group 1, group 2, group 3. And by default, it is 1 member per group. But if you want protection, you do 2 members per group. So it's going to be like this. Redo log 1A, redo log 1B, redo log 2A, 2B. You're going to alternate them. The B is so that if A dies, you still have the B. It's the same as we have 3 control files. So you have redo, you multiplex. Let's say, for redo, let's say you duplex the redo log files. And for the control files, you duplex them or multiplex them. See, multiplex and duplex. Duplex means 2. Yes. So for regular files, it's always recommended just do duplex. But it's still multiplexing, but now it's just 2.
So when you say okay, so there's 3 groups of these log files.
Yes.
And then there's 2 subgroups for each group.
There's 2. Okay. There's 3 groups of regular files.
Right.
And with 1 member each in each group.
Okay, so where did the AB come from?
It means you want to do 2 members in each group.
Okay, so then the control files is 3 groups as well.
No, that is just 3 control files. They're not group because you cannot have 1A, 1B of control files. So, guys, so we're done with that. That is U01. Now let's go to U02. No, inside U01, we also we install Oracle. Everybody watch this one, guys. You install Oracle inside U01 app Oracle. That is your Oracle base. Your Oracle base is this directory right here. Everybody gotta watch this because I'm not gonna come back to this ever. Here, that is Oracle base. The root of all Oracle versions, of all Oracle software. Then, inside Oracle base, everybody watch. Inside Oracle base, which is actually that folder called, this is the folder where we did LS today. Inside there, there is DIAG, diagnostic folder. Then there is admin, that's an important folder for us. And then there's product. Then there's product, pay attention. From product, that's where the Oracle home will be. Then there's config tools, logs. But most importantly, let's continue with the products. Under product, there's a folder that gives you the version of Oracle you install. In this case, it's Oracle 12, 11.2.0. Okay? If it was 12, it would be 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, whatever. Because when you download Oracle, it will tell you what version of Oracle you've downloaded. So you make sure you name this folder accordingly. Okay? Then, inside that folder called 11.2, there is now the real Oracle home. In this case, the Oracle home is called DB_1, database 1. And sometimes, let me just tell you guys so you don't see next time you get confused. Sometimes this will be written DB_home1. By default, if you did not specify inside your .bash profile, it will name it like that. It used DB_1 because we have that in the .bash profile. But if you did not specify Oracle home in your .bash profile, that name could have been DB_home1. Okay, so I say that just so that you see it, don't be alarmed. Now, hey, why do they call it _1? It means you can install the same version multiple times. If you install it again, it will be DB_2 or DB home 2. And there are times when they will ask you to do that. You know why? You do that sometimes, right? On a very important database, you install it twice. Then the database is running, and you need to do some upgrades. You do the upgrade on the other version, or the other home. After you do that upgrade, right, you can now take like a minute. You shut down the database and start running on that home. Then you upgrade the other home. That is to reduce down. To reduce the time when people cannot use the database, you may be required to do multiple installations of Oracle. Okay? That's why they put that one. But now watch this. Everybody pay attention. Inside that directory called DB_1, we're going to have a directory called assistant. That is where DBCA will be. Remember DBCA stands for Database Configuration Assistant. If you go inside that directory, you see many assistants. NetCA, Network Configuration Assistant, EMCA, Enterprise Manager Configuration Assistant. They will all write something inside that folder. Then, the most important folder for every software, even Microsoft Word, any software you install has a bin directory. In that bin directory, that's where the little program that make that software work are kept. So the bin directory contains programs or binaries. Bin stands for binaries, okay? And guys, I want you guys to watch here. Come on, why is my thing blurry? Okay, hey, I want you guys to watch here, see the ones we have used so far. So far, we use that guy. You guys remember that, right? Use that thing. Oops, we get a pen that can show. Yes. We use this guy. We use this guy.
Yeah.
We use that guy. But that guy and this guy are like cousins. They do the same thing. Okay, but we haven't used that guy. So these are the ones we've used. And as a DBA, these are the tools you use. We're going to use EXPDP at the top here. IMPDP, that's import, export. You import your data. You can export your data. And as a matter of fact, those four, they all do about the same thing. RMAN is for database backup. Oh, we have used this one. Maybe some people in class, SQL Plus. And EMCA, we use this one. That's why I used to start Enterprise Manager. If your Enterprise Manager crashes and it's not working properly, you use EMCA, Enterprise Manager Configuration Assistant, to rebuild it. Then we're going to use SQL Loader, TK Prof, we're going to use that. But guys, by the time the class is over, we would master every one of these programs. They actually call them Oracle utilities. So we're going to master every one of them. But if you guys notice, we've been just 3 weeks, almost a month. We've used almost half of them already. Okay. So, but this is what we came here to study, these things. We have to know what each one of them does. And let me see here.
What's the last?
Which one?
SQL. Oh, the SQL.
SQL Loader. We use that to load data inside Oracle from non-Oracle sources. Good. Now, that was the bin directory. Then there's a directory called DBS. DBS stands for Database System. Guys, inside that directory, very important. As a matter of fact, the DBA, truly, let me tell you guys, we would never go inside the bin directory. Because in our .bash profile, right? Next time we look at .bash profile, there's going to be Oracle home/bin in the .bash profile under path. Because you have it there, once you type any of these words, any of these programmatic words, it will start off. Because it's defined in our path in the .bash profile. That's why if you also type DBCA, it comes up. It's because it's in your path and it's actually running from the bin directory. Okay? Now, the next one, DBS, Database System. Come on, clear up, buddy. Has 3 files inside. That the DBA, as I said, right? There's almost no time that you're required to do CD bin. No. But you always do CD DBS. No, CD Oracle home/DBS. Because DBS is inside Oracle home. Inside, this is the most important file for us, guys. Oops. This file. Come on. Wait. Okay. I think it wasn't right. That file. SP file seed. What is seed? Remember we were talking about Oracle seed, right? System identifier of your database. Is that it defines that name that uniquely identifies your database in that system, in that computer. So SP file seed.ora. You guys remember we did .bash profile, we edited things inside, right? For your database. All the parameters of your database are written inside SP file seed.ora, or the older one, which is called initseed.ora. Let me tell you guys, the days I did Oracle, right? If you knew that word, you were very close to getting a job. If you can remember, initseed.ora. That you edit, you go to an interview, they ask you about Oracle, how do you configure Oracle, so you edit the initseed.ora. You 1 foot through the door. Then SP file seed.ora did not exist. But guys, is everybody here comfortable with .bash profile? What's inside? Very important.
It's all your
Environment variables, the things, it defines how your environment looks like, what you can do. Just as when you open your desktop sometimes, remember you can open your desktop, you change your background, you change your colors. When you do that in a Windows machine, right, you're actually editing an equivalent of the .bash profile in Windows.
Prof,
Yes.
in a real working environment,
Mm-hmm.
who prepares the .bash profile? You, the DBA, or the
It's
reseller?
your home, so you are the one to do it. You read the Oracle documentation tell you what to put in the .bash profile so that Oracle can work. Part of it will be Oracle base, Oracle home, something library, Oracle host name, and it's just those few things that I gave you. Not those aliases. No, those aliases, we made those aliases. Oh, okay. Now, password seed.aura, guys, you have 10 databases. Each database has its own password file. So, you see the word, the use the word seed, because one machine can have many instances or many Oracle seeds. So they'll identify these files by the seed. So if we go to our database right now, we're going to see a file that says sp file class t.aura, because class t was our seed when we created the database. There's a file called pwdseed.aura inside Oracle Home DBS. So you got it? So what I want is this. I'm going to stop just so people don't fall asleep. Everybody's going to type cd. No, let me not even tell you guys. Now everybody should know. I simply say, go to your Oracle Home, and you know how to go to your Oracle Home. Everybody go to Oracle Home. When you go to Oracle Home, go to DBS. I don't have to keep telling you guys CD, right? We've talked about CD like for almost a month now. If they say go to a directory, you should know that it means CD to the directory. Everybody go to Oracle Home and go to DBS and type ls. Let's see what's inside. Or you can even type it without going there from what we saw recently. Everybody go to Oracle Home. Barbara, you can do that too, I think. So, guys, if I need, hey, give it to Mozilla. I'll work on that machine for you. A brand new machine, Zeus. Just while you're doing your homework, you could just be looking at it.
It's 15.
1500?
Yeah, 15 inch.
There was no 17 inch,
It's a good one.
but it's the same machine. The other one was not in stock,
Not at this.
but you told them.
Yeah.
Lenovo variant.
Let me see. Okay, told them what you needed. Has SSD.
Yeah.
Has it? Okay. That one was not in stock. How much is this one? About the same price?
No, it's like 1200.
Okay, so it's even more expensive. Okay. All right. Now as it works. Doesn't slow down. Okay, guys. I want to go to my Oracle Home and see what's inside the DBS directory. So I'm gonna do CD $ in caps Oracle_home, and I type LL. I should see a bunch of directories, but I'm looking for DBS. I can go scroll. I'm going to see DBS. Yes, so I can type CD DBS, and I type LL, and I can see some files in there. Everybody should be able to do that.
What did you put before you put in CD, CBS?
LL. LL just LS minus L. CD space $ Oracle_home in caps. Oracle Home is in caps. Or whenever you hear the word Oracle Home, guys, it this in caps, Oracle base in caps, Oracle seed in caps. Next one we're going to add there is, I think we don't have $TNS.
Oracle underscore.
Hi there, I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help. A little sign in here, and the what?
And the field caps.
You got that, Curtis? And
Yeah, I got it.
are you in there, Barbara, in that machine? Oh, no, Barbara, let me tell you something. You will not get the same thing because you don't have a database. So your DBS will be empty. Let me see. I'm in your same machine. Let me try that. So CD $Oracle underscore home /DBS. If I type LL. Yes. So for Barbara, if you get in there, you're going to see one file, init.ora. So do it, Barbara, but you're going to get just init.ora in there.
You'll see the files inside of this.
Are we there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Very, very important. You guys see in there, there's, let me see the files. Look. Yes, this SP file class T.ora. You guys see that?
Yep.
But let me tell you guys, that file is binary. When you say file is binary, what does that mean? Means you cannot edit it in the first place. It is a customary file. It is a proprietary file for some program. Binary here, it means only Oracle writes and reads that file. We are not allowed to open it and write inside. But there is another file called init.ora. You guys see that one?
Yes.
I want you guys to do more space init.ora. Let's see what's inside that file. I haven't looked at it myself, but if I type more init, oh yes, has quite some text. It's an example of an init.ora. We're going to study init.ora. Now that we've created a database, we're going to look, I think chapter 3 will tell us about Oracle parameters. The Oracle parameters are configured in an init.ora file or SP file or spseed.ora or initseed.ora. Those three files contain the same information used to configure your database. Okay. So LL, is there a password file there? No. There's no password file, is it? Yeah, there is. Ora PW class P. No, that's for my class P. Yeah, there's Ora PW class T. What do you guys see how that file is named? Your Oracle exam, right? We'll give you a question and ask you, pick which one is the right file, the right password file.
How do you know? I've got the
Well, listen.
PW.
No, you should know the format. When we looked in the notes, it said something seed.ora. You also want to know what is seed. Ora PW class T. You see, so the file was started with Ora PW seed.ora. And it was Windows.
Yeah,
In Windows, the name will be pwd seed.ora. So actually, the one that I have in the notes here is the Windows one. Yeah. But you know it when you see PW, your password.
So
Okay.
this is for making a Microsoft account. So just like in your Gmail password, so you can
No. That Gmail, I think we'll try and it failed. He ended up using his password as Microsoft. He's using his phone number. So if that fails, you can use the phone number because his phone number works for Microsoft thing. Did it fail?
Tell me for the
Yeah. With the other one, we set it with the phone number and it worked. Okay. So guys, I'm going to leave that alone. Let's come back here. People, this is so important, right? Because once you have a database running, I need to change the size of your SGA. Where do you go to? You go to the init.aura. Init.aura could be, it could be this sp file c.aura or initc.aura, depending on which one Oracle wants to use, okay? So inside this directory, in reality, I could have written init.aura, initseed.aura, spfileseed.aura, and down here, where it says pwdseed.aura, this, no, it's password. It actually stands for password there, believe it or not. This is for Windows. In Linux, it would be, what did we see there? Look at your thing again. For the password file. Yes, it's Aura PW, right? Yes. Thank you. It's Aura PW. Then seed.aura. That's how the password will be named in Linux. So let me write under here. This is Linux. Yo, I want everybody in your notebook. This is the only one I want you guys to write down. Everybody, I want everybody to write something like, this is the only one. I want everybody to remember Oracle Home DBS. What is inside? If that's the only thing we learn today before we go, I don't care. I'll be happy. Now, the big thing here is that OFA, which we did already. But guys, so $sign. I put $sign Oracle Home / DBS contains number 1. I'll put them more in the order of importance. And for order of importance, the first one is SP file. Let me go back to that thing. Yeah, sp5c.aura. So of order, for order of importance, it will be SP file. Then your Oracle seed. .aura. Then number 2 file would be let me see, what's that thing again? Yeah, init seed. Init seed. Change those columns. I want you guys to catch how they are named. Init seed.aura. Number 3 could simply be init.aura. And number 4 would be Aura. No, let's use one that, because most databases are Unix. So let's use this one. Aura PW. Then I'll simply make a tiny little note here. As for Linux, if it's Windows, PWD. If it's Windows, that's when it'll be.
The Linux is just for this command, just for this one.
Yeah, when you see the name like that, you know it's for if you're in a Linux system, you're going to see aura pwc.aura and pwd c.aura, and that one would be if you are in Windows. If you're in Windows, that's how that file will be named. And the big question is, what are these files? Maybe I would just write, since I wrote that way, I would do, I'll just put a tiny little note back here.
In Windows, too, all the other ones are both at the same.
Yeah, they are the same. Therefore, I'm going to do this. I'll put here, these three files are, no, let me actually make a tiny little sentence. I'll say contain instance. No, let me switch. I'll say contain database instance. I want to add the word database, guys. That a little bit. I'll say contains DB instance parameters. Then for this other one, so that's for those guys. And for this one, contain passwords of users with DBA privilege. That's users who can act as a DBA. Once you grant somebody DBA, that person can shut down the database. Their password will be written inside these two password files. When you write that, then I still want to sneak in some tiny little information somewhere. I would write mine in here. Let me write that in purple. This #1 file that I wrote called SP file. I want you guys in brackets near to write binary. Means only Oracle writes in that file. Then this other two, I'll do this. These ones are ASCCI. No, ASCII. Just 1 second. Yes. ASCII. Call that an ASCII. ASCII. What's an ASCII file? IE. Text file. An ASCII file. They tell that a file is an ASCII file. It's a regular text file I can open and type inside. put VI into the file. And you read it and you type and you edit. What, ASCII? Google that for us. I just forgot what it stands for. American something I forgot it.
It's just the initial seed that is binary.
Yes. Only the first file is binary. Anything that is binary means it's only a computer that deals with it. You don't open it. So these are located where Oracle Home DBAs. Why are we studying this whole OFA and Oracle architecture? Because for us to manage a database, you must know where this file is. Because the time we need to change something in the database, you go into Oracle Home DBS. For example, you have your, remember we talking about PGA. You need to create size of your PGA. It's inside one of those 3 files. And you're doing that. But when you start up the database, every time, boom, the database looks for the sp5c.org. If it doesn't find it, it will look for initc.org. If it doesn't find it, it will look for init.org. That's how I'm going to put them in that order. But Oracle recommends that we all use the sp5c.org. Okay. With that, let's go back to what we were doing. Where were we? We were right here. Guys, looking at this diagram. I'm going to give you guys this diagram. If you have money, print a nice color one. As a matter of fact, I don't have one, guys. I have to print a nice big one and put it on one of my walls. Guys, we are looking at the Oracle Home. What is inside Oracle Home? That's the whole thing, guys. They ask you, what is inside Oracle Home? There's a bin directory. There's a DBS directory. You call the important directory. Don't care about the rest. Bin, that's where all the programs are. DBS, that's where my init.ora is. Often they just call that file init.ora. Even though no, it's sp file, initc, we call it init.ora. Guys, initialization. The init stands for the word initialization. It initializes Oracle at startup. So when you start up the database for the first time, right? What Oracle does is this. As you start up the database, the Oracle engine, the first thing it does is it reads the SP file. When it reads the SP file, right, it knows the location of your control files. Your control file location is written inside that SP file. Then it knows if it has to bring up the archiver, it's inside. Because remember, the archiver is an additional process, apart from the mandatory ones. It knows if it has to, when it brings up the archiver, where it will keep the archival of files, it's written inside there. It knows how big your SGA will be from the SP file. It knows how big your PGA will be from the SP file. It knows if there are dispatchers from the SP file. If you're running server processes, remember top of server processes being dedicated or shared, it's written in the SP file. When we went through that DBCA, right, everything we're entering there, that stuff we're actually configuring in SP file and init.org. Okay, now let's forget that. We looked at the bin. There's a folder called the install. Remember we installed Oracle, right? Let's say after installation, you say, oh, I don't like where my Oracle Home is. I need to take it out. You cd it to Oracle Home the install, and there was actually a note right after installation, just below, where I was skipped. You go to the install, there's a script that you run that script, it removes Oracle from your machine. Okay? Then there's a folder called demo, has some samples. Guys, our next important folder, which everybody will also just write down Oracle Home DBS, is this RDBMS, excuse me. We saw Oracle Home DBS. There's a folder called Oracle Home RDBMS. RDBMS stands for what again? Who remembers? What's the meaning of RDBMS? What's the meaning of RDBMS? Anybody?
Rational database management system.
Relational.
Relational.
Database management system. Guys, can't forget that. We're studying relational databases here.
Yeah, relational.
It is NoSQL database. Means the tables have no relationship with one another. That's a horrible database. That's probably the one our grandparents use. Even my village, I think we had a relational database. Guys, inside the folder called RDBMS, right? There's a folder called admin. Whenever I see admin, you know that's an administrative folder. Right? Then we have the DVD. Okay. So, admin. Whenever I see admin, you want to go inside and find out what's inside the folder called admin. Inside this folder called admin, in this particular case, guys, inside this folder, there are scripts. We'll talk about data dictionary before, lightly, right? We're going to study the Oracle Data Dictionary. Scripts to rebuild your Oracle Data Dictionary are stored inside RDBMS. It contains scripts to rebuild the data dictionary. I want everybody to write down, remember when we just wrote something? Where we wrote that. In other words, guys, if you've written that with me, right now we are on $ Oracle_home/RDBMS. This folder, you want to remember, scripts to rebuild the Oracle Data Dictionary. Comma. Recompile invalid objects. Comma. What else? Upgrade. Use scripts to upgrade the database, comma, etc. E.g., you must know some of those scripts. One of it will be called catalog.sql. Catalog.sql. catprop.sql. Let's see what's another name. Cat upgrade. You see, UTL. UTL rp.sql. That has written yes. Then cat upgrade. I want you guys to note the common thing. All of them end with, whenever you hear a script in Oracle, script must have an extension .sql. All Oracle scripts, all database scripts end with .sql. Very important. All database scripts that will run inside the database, the names end with .sql. Every script inside RDBMS admin is a SQL script. And by the way, I want you guys to correct something. I say contains, I want you to put SQL You write SQL scripts. Don't just say scripts, because there are operating system scripts. The SQL scripts. What time is it? From Monday, guys, we would start doing Oracle. Everything we're doing now, right, is just foundation, just building up to the real things we do. So even if you didn't understand some things that are going on now, what I would encourage you to do is this. Just go home, just write them down, just look at them and write them down, even they're meaningless. Then as we continue to move ahead, then they'll start to make sense. From the beginning, they will not make sense. I know that. But just write it down. Even if you write it down on a toilet paper, write it down on a flush sheet. You know? Okay. Let me tell you, any person who's serious in this class, you have to almost be in a mindset where you're walking and you're talking alone. And you're talking on. Yes. You sleep and you dream in midnight aura. As I told you, in my days, when we did Oracle, right? 1997, 96. If you knew the word init.aura, you walked around with your shoulders high. I know what? When we did Oracle, right? The word laptop did not exist. I remember I was teaching this class in 1997, it was 500 people. We had one desktop. One desktop. So if there were no laptops, there were no large monitors. There was nothing like that. You know what we had? We had a projector on the screen. And 500 people just sit and watch and take notes. You were lucky in that class to sit like 10 people away from the keyboard and you could see the keyboard. 500 people. These are bigger than a typical college back home. So you were lucky, right, to sit at a position, right, where you can see the guy type. So you had to come early. You had to come like an hour before class began and take your seat near the place where I'm going to come put the desktop. It was a desktop. I bought a desktop just down the street from here then. I bought a desktop for $2,500. It had 400 meg of RAM. Not even up to a gig. It was the best computer in the world then. 500 people. So you were lucky to sit where your eyes are seeing how somebody is typing. And you're wondering how their hands are moving. I think the world has changed so much right now. As a matter of fact, right now I'm working, I was taking video, I took many videos of that stuff. I'll bring some of the videos. I just started transferring my videos from tape to CD. I'll bring some of those videos, you guys will watch them and you see the class. And you see how it was, then you believe it. It's sometimes when I talk about it, people still don't believe it. It was such a big class. We were in a big theater. It was like a movie theater or something. That place was like $12.50 a day to rent it for one class. For one day. To sit 500 people. Where would you sit 500 people so that they can take notes? An expensive hall that you get. So we did that, and if that class ended every day, sometimes I decide to print notes, right? Then there was no textbook. None. Even in the stores, you don't find an Oracle textbook. So we had to print from Oracle documentation. So if I decide to print 2 pages, that's 1,000 pages. And 1 page printed there was like 25 cents. So each time I went to Kinko's, wherever to print, I spent no less than $1,000 to print notes for everybody. I bring the notes and I look at it. Wow, this is Oracle notes. Now we have the textbook, we have the software. It's very interesting. Anyway, but that's how times have gone. Anyway, but guys, this folder is so important. There are more than 500 scripts inside that folder. And I just talked about the important ones. And we're going to study those scripts one by one as we go along. One by one, we're going to study them. That is RDBMS admin. Then guys, Apart from that, our next folder, there's a folder called O-Patch. Oracle patch. What's a patch? Patch is a fix, right? You know, if you grew up somewhere, like when I was young, you play and you go near a barber and they cut your clothes, you come back and they patch it. Don't patch it, you got nothing. Good luck. Actually, we used to go to a stream, had like a flat stone, a river, and the stream water was flowing down the stream. So that was our best toy place. Go and sit at the top and you roll down with the waves on a stone. So you're only shot that you got. So by the time you do that 3 times, you have nothing in the back of your shirt. Then you have to patch it. Cut another piece somewhere, put it inside and patch it around. Yeah, okay. Nobody threw anything there. Today, but anyway, today actually the tier 8, right? The active word and font. For us, it used to be real. Means you got it good. You wore it until they were like holes. Or you've walked until it's torn down here, torn in the back. Now they actually sell them. I wish I kept my own one. Anyway, but O-Patch, right? It's a folder where you have the patching software. If a new patch, let's say like there is some new, what do they call it that come out?
Update.
Yeah, as matter of fact, the new updates, you run them from O-Patch directory. So everybody knows that directory, every DBA. You go to O-Patch directory to apply updates, security patches and all. That's one of the most important jobs of a DBA. Patch your database. They ask what are the duties of a DBA? Patching. Patching is one. You must patch. Then there's a folder called network inside Oracle Home. And guys, watch here again. There's network admin again, another admin directory. Networking has to do with how you connect to your database. You guys remember we used Net Manager the other day? Yeah. When you run that Net Manager, right, it creates a file inside this folder. And you guys remember what did the listener? Here we go. Listener.aura. You remember we did something that would do save network configuration. When you save that, right, that's when this file was created. That file was created called listener.aura. That is, so what do we use listener.aura for? To configure the listening. As an experienced DBA, you don't use Net Manager. Just go to the directory, open that file and edit. Host name, port number, database name, edit that. It's actually faster to do it that way if you know your little VI and you know where the file is. So as a DBA, everybody should know Oracle Home, network, admin. Let's write that one down, then we end our OFA stuff. So what I want is everybody write down. We're going to talk about that folder, guys. So we're talking about $. Guys, I just put $OH, mean Oracle Home. You guys should remember. So there is RD. No, we'll talk about RDBMS already. This one now is network underscore dash admin. So there's a folder with that name, and this folder contains network, no, I say contains database, SQL, oops, yeah, I should change that. SQL net. What? We just cancel that as a matter of fact. So contains SQL Often they put SQL star net files. Contains database SQLnet files. No, SQLnet configuration files. I want to change that. I want to use the word configuration. I just put config. If I see what config will make configuration. Contains DB database, right? SQLnet config files. As a matter of fact, I want to change. I want to add something. Contains. I wonder where to put this. Contains 3 DB SQLnet config files. There are only 3 files, guys, and I'm going to put them here. Number 1, listener.org. Number 2, TNS names.org. And number 3, SQLnet.org. Right, I put some space, put one space at least be away from the file, so that maybe we could just write something about those files. So listener.org. Listener.org. What is that file used for? That's what I'm going to just write something here. Oh, I should keep writing what contains. Contains listener. Contains listener config settings, configuration settings. All parameters. A setting is parameters are settings, guys. All parameters. TNS. What is the TNS names? This one contains parameters that allow clients to connect to the database. And the listener SQLnet.org. This file, guys, used for, now it's used typically for connectivity troubleshooting. Often we say this file is used for troubleshooting, that's it. If you have trouble connecting to your database, Then Oracle might ask you to adjust the SQLnet and try again. Then it will create some log files. That when you look at the log files, you could understand why you are not connected, why you're unable to connect. SQLnet, listener.ora, the three files located in Oracle Home Network Admin. Oracle Home Network Admin. So let's come back here. We'll finish with this. And guys, believe it or not, that's all we need to know under. Hang on. Hope my iPad is not dying. So, but that's all under Oracle Home that we need to know. Then now, guys, under that directory called DIAG. Under DIAG, there's a directory called RDBMS again. And under RDBMS, there's a directory called Class T for your database name. And another one, Class T again. If your Class T, if your Oracle seed was in caps, it will create these two folders. One lowercase, one uppercase. I don't know why, the tautology, but that's how it's been kept like that for a long time. Then, inside the folder called Class T, there is a folder called Alert. Just from the name, you should know that's a troubleshooting folder. All errors are written in the Alert folder, okay? Then there's a folder called Trace. That's also for troubleshooting. And it traces all activities in your database. Inside the Trace folder, there's a file called alertseed.ora. So for us, if you go in that alert folder, you're going to see a folder called alertclasst.ora. No, .log. .log. Guess what? That is the most, or that used to be the #1 file. In those days, if you knew initseed.ora, I knew alertseed.ora. You got a job. Until you go there and find out you've never typed on the keyboard. People actually had jobs, right? And their first keyboard experience was a word. And the job lasted for maybe 1 month. Then their boss actually came and found out they cannot type. Not that they're even typing with, they never sat on the keyboard before. But they knew initseed.ora and alertseed.ora. .log. So here we go. So guys, inside the trace folder, that is where the alert, we'll just call it the alert log. It records everything in your database. Every log switch is written in the alert log, the time it happened, and where and when the archiver started copying, and when the archiver copied, and what it copied. So for you to know how busy your database is, you look at the alert log. Based on log switches, they're all written in there. If there's any error in Oracle, error is written in the alert log. So in those days, you go, they say, how do you monitor your database? Alert log. How do you do it? Tail minus F. That's it. Okay, then guys, there's a folder called CDOM, there's a folder called metadata, but the most important folder, guys, under DIAG would be alert folder and the trace. As a matter of fact, the trace folder more. Alert folder and trace folder all contain the same thing, but one is XML. That's written more in programming language. But the alert seed is a plain text file that you can read. And that's it on that side. And under the admin folder, there's a folder called admin. Under admin, if you scroll down, there's a folder called ADOM. We can audit our database to audit what people are doing. If you decide to turn on auditing, audit files are written in the ADOM folder. And then there's DPDOM, backup, P file. When you're creating a database for the first time, it takes the initial copy of the SP file or the init file. It keeps it inside this directory. Just in case the other one ever gets damaged, you could come here and get the original copy. Okay? And that's how come if you see this note here, you see my note here, in my diagram, I draw an arrow pointing to DBS. You see that? It's the same file. That's written in there. Then there's a script folder inside admin. That script folder, That is where I said it is the DBA's corner. All your script to back up your database, to monitor your database. Script that do anything in your database should be inside the scripts folder. So inside there's backups. And there's 3 kinds of backups you can do. RMAN, EXP, and EXPDP. And script to monitor. They'll all be in there. Guys, and basically once you understand this, right, you are beginning to understand Oracle. In U02, there's Aura data. The green there will be whatever seed you have. And then you're going to have your U01, U02 index, or whatever data files you want. Then move over to U03. There's also going to be Aura data. Wherever you're going to keep your control file, and regular file, and data file, their first directory must be called Aura data. Then class T, and move on. Aura back. Aura back, that's where your backups will go. Dump all your backups in there. Hey guys, who could give me one advantage of OFA? Why do you use OFA?
Organize data. Organize.
To organize your Oracle software and physical files. Just put it like that. Why? For easy. Listen, when you give a K, listen. You have to give why. I asked about why. I did not say how. If I just say how do we use it to organize those files, right? But why?
To avoid chaos.
Yeah, okay, that's a general word to avoid chaos, but easy administration. Because we administer the database, manage it, right? We say easy management, easy administration, and the thing of words are different. For easy troubleshooting. But most important, I want everybody to write down this, guys. Everybody should write down advantages of using OFA. Why do we use OFA in the first place? Why? Let me see. I think I have some notes on that somewhere. Why do we use OFA? Let me see if I could locate something on that. Just on that particular point. Why? Why do we use OFA? Just a second. I want to give you guys the 3 main reasons. Advantages of using OFA. So why, or right there, also write the advantage of using OFA, guys. Just a second, let me look. I need to look for some notes. Well, where does my note just go to again? Because, guys, most things I'll do in this class, always ask yourself why. Because you need to know why. Why do we multiplex the control files? Why do we duplex the Regilog files? You must know why. If you don't know why, then just a second. Let me check again. I just lost where the thing was. Just a second. Come on, where is this notes? Where are them notes? Course outline. Wonderful. Whoa. Yeah, when I do that, come back, then we're going to go back to doing some hands-on again, people. Okay, I'll send you guys these notes. I think these are the notes right here. Let me go do. Just downloaded them. OFA, yes, right here. Send you guys this note. I used to make it a big topic, but don't want us to do that anymore. Just 1 second. Let me go down. Oracle structure. What benefits of OFA? Ooh, why does it look so bad? What? It can be a very long topic. The Oracle documentation is like some many pages. Just 1 second, 1 second. Let me see if I could see. Where? Okay, benefits. Okay, I'll write it down. So I'll just go through the notes and write down, then you guys can just scribble behind me.
So we using the benefits.
Why benefits? Yeah, we're using it because of some benefits. You're right. So I could do why use OFA. If you care, we're talking about benefits of implementing OFA. What are the benefits of implementing OFA? So I'm gonna write number 1. Enable ease of administration.
Screen, please.
Oops. Yeah, you're right. So we're using this thing to enable ease of administration of Oracle software and database. Then number 2 would be okay. Then number 2 would be optimize database performance by separation of physical files and table spaces that rain on, tell you, sleep well. On the file system based on type, access, and type, access, and usage. Number 3 reason. Reduce downtime. Reduce downtime with no, not with. Reduce downtime. As a matter of fact, I should get that out. Reduce downtime as multiple installations can be possible from Oracle base. Say from Oracle_base. Then, as a matter of fact, I wanted to go where I say multiple installations, put them in brackets, Oracle Homes. Put a dollar sign. You can have multiple Oracle Homes. Number 3.
That's number 4.
Yeah, number 4 really. Number 4, multiple database instances can be installed. No, not installed, created. Can be created on the same server. And we see the next one. For number 5, why is that? Well, click on number 5. OFA separates. This thing separates the administrative task. Administrative tasks. No, administrative, no, not task, not task. Let me call this information. Administrative information. What is separates? Yep, separate the administrative information of each database in its own directory, in its own folder. But most importantly, number 6, I'll just end here. There are many advantages, but I will end with this one. I would say OFA would facilitate transition from outgoing to incoming or new DBA. By reducing the learning curve. Oops. Of the environment. If OFA, if OFA standards were implemented, That's the most important one. IE, and that last important one, you can even put it more like this. Or facilitates, IE, OFA, yeah, change that. OFA will facilitate continuity. Continuity of database administration and thereby reducing downtime, reducing downtime for the organization. When I stop here, guys, just explain that everybody should just kind of get, it's just more common sense. Hey, guys, listen. As we've all seen here, right, Oracle is kind of a complex software to install, to create a database, and all of that. But if all DBAs follow this set of standards, because OFA is nothing but a set of recommendations or standards provided for Oracle, for DBAs to follow when they install Oracle, when they create a database, when they do these things. So if we all follow that, and you are my DBA working for me, multi-million-dollar company, and you just wake up tomorrow, you quit. No show, no call. I can just hire another DBA. And if they know DB, if they understand OFA, and you follow OFA, once they come, they can just hit the ground working. Once they log in, all they need to know is the Oracle seed. Once you see the Oracle seed, right, you know where their netlock is. You know where the backups will be. You know where the network files are. You know where the password files are. That's it. You get the point? So that's why I say it will facilitate continuity. It will facilitate handing over from one DBA to another. As a matter of fact, that is the most important reason a company wants to follow OFA, for standardization. You get the point? So there is standards that, oh, another one I could have written is this. It facilitates troubleshooting. Especially with Oracle Corporation. Did I write that one already? Let me see, write that one down here.
No.
Yeah, it was somewhere else.
It was for SQL Net.
Yes. So let me put number 7. Once the OFA is followed, implementation of OFA will reduce database issues, database errors, troubleshooting. Especially when SRs, especially when I'm going to change something. When, oh, okay, take that out. When an SR, who could guess the meaning of SR? Service request. When a service request is opened with, put another word here, with must. What does must stand for? My Oracle support. You guys get that? Must stands for my Oracle support. And when you open a ticket, SR is nothing but a ticket or a service request. A database crash, we cannot bring it down. Open a ticket with Oracle. So they look at it, they might just call on the phone. I say, okay, type CD, $, Oracle Home, DBS, LS, tell me what you see in there. You tell them. So tell me all the files you see. Is there an SP file? Tell me the name. You go and say, no, there's no SP file. Okay, the guy knows something is wrong. Then the Oracle support. Because once you're giving them that, right, because they have done Oracle so much, they just have to talk on the phone and you tell them, they ask you do this, do this, do this, tell me this, tell me that. But if you did not follow OFA, they say, go to Oracle Home. You did not set Oracle Home correctly. You cannot go there. You get the point? Or if you are the new DBA, you don't know what Oracle Home is. They say, go to Oracle Home. You say, what is Oracle Home? So you end up like those our DBAs in the 90s who never typed on a computer. So, but guys, this is so important to know what OFA is used for. That's why we created a database called Class T. The Oracle seed was Class T. DB underscore name is Class T. Instance underscore name is Class T. DB, what is the other one again? There's another one. Global database name will be Class T. But you can change them if you want to. But Oracle warns, before you change them, you have to think twice. But you can change them if you really, really feel like changing things and having a lot of trouble in your hands. So, with that, let me see. We were actually doing this diagram. So, guys, with this diagram right here, I'm going to give you guys this. Like you guys notice in my U03, in this case, that's where I put all my data files. And see how data files are named. Oracle tells us to name data files like this. When you see a data file name, right? So for example, look at that one. User underscore .dba. All data file names .dba. Database file. That's what it stands for, right? So if you see U02, you know there's U01. Just by seeing this, right, I know there is another file. And I know there's a table space called users. Excuse me, I call it U0. Users. You see that one there? Looking at this, I know there is a table space by the name users. And this is the second data file for it. Because I haven't seen one. Then, yeah, okay, there's one right there. So if I see that, then I want to find out where's number one. Okay, then if there's data file 1 and 2, that must be a big table space. Okay, so those are the kinds of things you have to put in place. Every data file must contain the name of the table space it belongs to. So there's a table space called sysops. Okay, so with this, guys, I'll send you guys, I'll stop right here and I'll send you guys this diagram. It's one of the diagrams that If I had money, I'll print it and everyone put it on their wall and they remember. This is what we did. The only thing we did different was we had all our data files in U02. That's what we chose when we created our database. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end this thing. Okay, and I'm going to send you guys this particular diagram. You living? Nobody move yet. So I'm going to send you guys, yes, that diagram right now. Oh, I should show you guys the same thing in Windows. In Windows, it's exactly the same thing. In Windows, it looks more like this. Instead of U01, we'll have C, D, and maybe an E drive. That's how you name drives in Windows. In Unix, there's /U01, /U02. So if you notice here, like in the C drive, there's also other data. You see that there? And class D, CTL1, control number 1, radio log. And if you go down, you're also going to have, oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, let me come back. I will show you guys this thing. That in Windows, guys, Oracle Flexible Architecture, this is even for Oracle 10. Oracle 10, 11, 12, the structure is the same. The only place where there's a difference is in the Oracle Home. But where you keep data files is the same. Where you name files is the same. Oracle 10, 11, 12, 18, it's all the same. Same concept. So if you all look at this, so D, my Oracle Home is in D. And when you see that 10.2.0 there, you know that this is Oracle 10. You get the point? So looking at that, you know that this is Oracle 10. And DB1, then you can go down. You're going to go to the, oh, instead of the folder called DBS, in Windows they call it database. There's no DBS, they call it database. They put the full name. And in there you can see your init seed, those and the password file. And then in RDBMS, you can see I show those data dictionary building scripts, cat upgrade, cat proc, catalog.sql, and all of that. So it's the same exact thing in Windows. If we have time towards the end, we're going to install Oracle 2 on 11 on Windows and see the same exact thing. And for that reason, I'll end this right here and I'll send you guys those files right now. Yes, drop that there. I was also send this one too. Okay, send both of them. At the bang, you have all of them. I hope everybody on their computer, you have a folder for Oracle that you download these things and keep inside. Let me tell you guys, everybody on your Windows machine, I hope everybody has a cloud folder. Typically, Google Cloud is the best one. So that when I share these things, right, you download and put them inside your cloud folder, inside your Google Drive. They call it Google Drive. Who has Google Drive? How everybody does? Yes. Everybody, if you don't, make sure you configure Google Drive so things like this that are sent. Because if you leave them in WhatsApp, right, they'll soon disappear, isn't it? No, but over time, you cannot find them anymore. When I send those things, download. If it's a file, download it, keep it in there. Download it and keep it in your Google Drive, please. If you don't know how to do that, you want to find out from somebody, how do I configure Google Drive? How do I save things in there? Otherwise, these things, you will not have them again. But I've given you already. So, it's 10 o'clock. So what I want us to do right now, as a matter of fact, the number one thing I wanted us to do today is the init.org. And I think the textbook has that for us. Let me just see if I can swing there and we look at that. It's chapter 3 in the textbook. Hope everybody's reading that textbook. Now everybody's supposed to have gone through chapter 1 and chapter 2. If you haven't, you're sleeping. I don't even know how I'll tell you again. You got to read that book. So, Let me go to here, textbook here. I'm going to go to that, chapter 3. As a matter of fact, let me just look at chapter 2 again and I run through. I just want to make sure we touch everything in chapter 2. Because installing Oracle is chapter 2. Chapter 1 was all the background processes. And chapter 2, installing Oracle and creating a database. Let me see if there's anything I missed. I'm just scanning through my book here. If there's anything we haven't talked about, optimal flexible architecture, page 71. We passed that. Environment variables, page 72. Using DBCA to create a database, that is where we are. Now, I want everyone to turn to page 84 in the textbook. Page 84. Page 84. Everybody, if you're on that, let me see. There's something I just saw there. Start the program. Okay. Everybody, first of all, go to page 81. Everybody go to page 81. Exercise 2.4, 2-4. Use the DBCA to create a database. In this exercise, you will create database listener. If one does not exist already, right? One listener can listen to as many databases as you want. You create one when you intentionally want to use a different listener. And no two listeners can have the same name. So if you have the first one called listener, you may create a second one called any name you want. Or listener 2, any name you want. Okay, number 1, launch Net Configuration Assistant. Are we there?
Yes.
It says Net Configuration Assistant here. The radio button for listener configuration will be selected. Let me see here. I want to see the name of the database they created here. I'd like you guys to do this exercise, create databases like 10, 20 times before this class, before we pass this chapter. I'm trying to look for I see the name of their database. So, everybody go to, wait, hold on. Yes, OCP 11G, good. So guys, this exercise is creating a database called OCP. I want everybody to go to this page. If you're with me, this is the page right here, page 81. Page 81. If you're on page 81, guys, number 1, launch Net Configuration Assistant. Who knows how to launch that thing? If anybody has been reading. No? Write it down on top of your book. NetCA. That's how you launch that baby.
So share your screen.
Yep. Sorry. NetCA. That's how you launch that thing. How do you launch Net Configuration Assistant? The other one is Net Manager, Net MGR. That's Net Manager. The radio button for listener configuration will be selected. Click Next 3 times. Guys, cancel, blah, 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 blah. But you guys know what? We all have a listener already. So you don't have to do this section. Launch the database configuration assistant, number 3. Who remembers how to do that one? Emma, number 3. How do we do number 3? Yo, how do we launch the database configuration assistant? DBCA. Guys, that's where you type DBCA. And write it there, guys. DBCA, lowercase. And when you do it, I like you to put this thing, that ampersand, so that window will not shut down because you accidentally hit enter somewhere. Even on NetCA, it's also a good thing. Whenever it launches, it's good to put that ampersand thing. On the DBCA welcome, click next. The next dialog box has a radio button, create database, configure. But you remember when you go on that next one, you're checking that first one. Let me see the next side. Second and third options will be grayed out. Who really cares? Number 6, database templates. Let me see which one they're selecting. Select template on which to base the new database. Select custom. Ooh, I want you guys to do this one. Everybody go there, underline me custom radio button. That's the only thing. We did select OLTP when we did ours, but here it says select custom. In the database identification dialog box, enter a global database name and a seed identifier which will be used. This will be default to the same. This is default to the same thing, which is often what is wanted. For this exercise, everybody underline that for me. What are we entering? OCP11G. I want everybody is going to do that one. OCP11G. The management option, blah, blah, blah. So guys, this is all reading. That's, I wanted to just see the name of the database. That's the key thing. Now, let's go to number 12. The database file location dialog box prompts for a root directory for the database. Select use database file locations from template. Okay, everyone underline that one. They actually says select that. That's important. Click the file location variable button to see where the database will be created. It will be the OFA location, Oracle base or a data, blah, 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 blah. Click next. I don't care for now, just do what they're saying. That's a bad idea. In the recovery configuration dialog box, accept the default configuration. So I wouldn't go reading this. I want you guys, please, when we go home, we're gonna whip out this little exercise. Follow this thing and just see. You guys have to learn to read. One of the things about being a DBA, right? Let me tell you guys, unlike all other things, people in other professionals, they write programs, script, do that. We don't script. We read documentation and we follow. Read documentation, follow it. You'll not be asked to write any code. But if you cannot read documentation, if you decide not to be able to focus and read and do it, then maybe you like to go somewhere and do coding. But coding is harder, and they even pay you less in the first place. Okay, so forget that. Yeah. So guys, I want you guys to do this whole exercise. It's a long exercise. I know where I did that because I want to end somewhere. Everybody go to page 84. I guess you are all there already. Instance parameter file. That's actually my study for today before we leave. Now, when you guys leave today, everybody's going to do the instance parameter file. I would soon stop, and I just show you guys how to log into that OEM again. Start the database, stop the database. Instance parameter file. The first file to consider is the instance parameter file. Guys, that is the #1 file inside your database. named, it is actually by default name init.aura. This is a print of a typical init.aura file generated by DBC. Guys, everybody look at that file. Come down. If you go down, you're going to see DB block size equals. You guys see that? That number is what? That number there, that's equals 8K, which equals 1024 times 8. 1024 times 8 will give you that 8,192. You guys know what 1024 is, right? Okay. That is a very important number as far as databases are concerned. Then open cursors. We don't worry about that now. But guys, come down again. You see the other parameter everybody must know is called, the next one down is called DB. Look at DB domain name. It has quotes, but there's nothing inside. You see that? The domain name is like bitech.com or oracle.com. But you can create a database, you don't give that at all. You don't need to give it. So in this case, they did not give it because they told us when we were creating a database not to worry about that. But guys, database name, DB name. DB name is your database name. That is how your database is called. DB_name. Let's go see the next parameter. All of this was information gathered as well, going through DBC and doing all of that stuff. Control files. You guys see the next line on the next page? That gives you the location of your control files. But when you do yours, guys, pay attention. Your own is not going to be D like you have here. You guys see D here? D colon. You guys notice that D colon? That is Windows. For Linux, it's going to be /U01 or 2 or 3 or 4. Okay, so be mindful. Let's see the next thing. That's here. Job queues, miscellaneous, compatible, I don't care. Hey, NLS language, that's national language. English, we don't really care. Then NLS territory, where are you located? United Kingdom. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Processes. How many people were connected to your database plus background processes? In this case, I say 150. We don't really worry about that. Guys, now this is the big boy, the SGA that we studied in the thing. So SGA target. Very important. The SGA is made of many, many parts, right? But this one, everybody highlight that one and write me something here. This is for all. This is total for all SGA components or SGA parts. Or let me call components, use the right word. Guys, SGA is made of family parts. Leonard, give me 2 parts of the SGA, give me 3 parts of the SGA. Give me 3 parts of the SGA. Buffer cache, SG log file.
I don't log buffer.
Your curated log buffer.
Share pool.
Shared pool. Give me another one. Another part of the SGA that is not mentioned. Yeah, that given already. Given already. Given already. Give another one. Large pool. Another one?
Flashback.
Yeah, flashback log. Yep. Give another one.
Java pool.
So yeah, Java pool online. You're correct. Streams pool, yes. There's streams. Streams buffer, I think.
CTWR buffer.
CTWR buffer, that is part of the, yes. Guys, Java pool. You have to remember those parts of the SGA. So next thing we're going to come here in class, everyone's going to bring a board. We're going to spend some day and see if we could draw this thing like that boy drew, like somebody drew up there. We need to be able to remember these things, guys. It's very important. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So the SGA, this one, SGA target. This is the area that Oracle will take, right? And then Oracle will intelligently share it among all those SGA parts. It's okay, large pool, you take this. This guy, you take that. This guy, you take that. Then after a while, you might say, okay, according to the performance, the large pool needs more. So take some shared pool and give to the large pool. Oracle will do that dynamically. Okay? Hey, security and auditing. Guys, there must be auditing in the database. And as you guys have mentioned, please, everybody must try to remember the parts of the SGA. If you haven't, I don't know what diagram to give you. But I thought I gave you guys a diagram already. I gave you guys this diagram, I think, did I? Okay. You have to remember. Hey, to audit people come into your database, guys, first, there is something called, if you look here, oops, I hit that. There is the audit. I want to highlight the whole thing. There is audit desk, audit destination, where the audit files are kept. It's a directory. Guys, watch where the directory is located. Oracle-based admin. Inside that admin directory, that's ADOM. You guys know what saw ADOM today? That's where audit files go to. And then there are different kinds of auditing you can do. In this case, the auditing type is database. It means audit information will be kept in the database. Okay? Then there's remote login password file. Can you connect from your house using a DBA to shut down the database? That's what that parameter is all about. We're going to see that. Shared servers. Do we have shared or dedicated servers? You get the point? If we do, how many dispatchers do we have? You can come here and you set number of dispatchers you want, but nothing is actually set. That is just some default thing here. They're not on a shared server here. Guys, PGA aggregate target. I want you guys to watch. Remember there's SGA, there's PGA. Two separate things. PGA aggregate target means the total memory that the entire F that will be shared out for PGA. Guys, everybody pay attention to this one. PGA aggregate target. Total of all PGAs. So everybody write that down, that near their book here. Total of all PGAs.
That's by default.
Yes. Means the one they give you, one they give you, one they give you, and all they cannot be above from that. Cannot be above that. Then guys, undo management. You guys know I talked about undo before, right? Yes. Undo segment. We talked about that. Undo segments. Segments are extents. It's made up of blocks, right? Yeah. And guys, a table space is made up of a data file. That data file will contain those segments. So you define what table space you want to use for your undo. That is part of that whole thing, guys. And by the way, let me go back to something. Where's that SGA target? Hey guys, when you set this parameter, SGA target, right? This particular parameter, I want to write this down there. This one starts that background process, starts the MMAN, M-M-A-N process. Well, let me call it background process. Once they set SGA target, that process will start off. because it's managing memory. We call it memory manager. You get the point? Okay. And by the way, everybody should come back here. Everybody, I hope everybody knows what this thing is. What is this? What is that pound sign? Everybody better write this down in their book. That is a comment. Comment, or what's another name for comment? Comment or remark. Pound signs are comment or remark in, yeah, actually my family just leave them. That's what they are right here. In this particular case, those are comments. It's actually written down here, yes. Any line beginning with the dash symbol is a comment and can be ignored. So when you start up, you say when Oracle is reading those things, right, they ignore those ones. Ignore those things with pound signs. Okay. I want you guys to finish reading that stuff. And then, let me see. Database creation script. Let me see. If you go to the next page, swing to the next page, I'm going to show you something there. Exam tip. There's an exam tip on the next page that says, what is the only parameter for which there is no default? Everybody must pay attention to this. As a matter of fact, that one doesn't fail in your exam. You know that one, you have one of your 60 questions. Hey, remember that init and Oracle that was so many things. Only one thing is mandatory inside. DB underscore name. You can leave all the other ones out, right? Oracle will take some default values, but there's no default for DB underscore name. A parameter file must exist with at least one parameter. Guys, or you cannot start the instance. The DB name can be up to, hey, everyone also catch this and write this down. Up to 8 characters. So your DB name cannot be longer than 8 characters. And letters and digits only, beginning with a letter. So you cannot start with number 1, number 2. Okay. Then if you ever look at that database creation script, guys, your database creation script, right? So this is the file DBCA executes. When you remember run DBCA, when you do that DBCA, guys, this is what DBCA actually does. DBCA actually runs this script, make directory, but this they're using in Windows. It does make directory. This is Oracle base, ADOM. You make all those directories. Then it set your Oracle seed. Then after that, it set your path. And yada, 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 it does a whole lot of things. But we don't have to spend time going through this. Just go to the next page for me for one thing. And there is something on that page that I may like to highlight. Yes. Everybody go to the next page. I'll highlight one thing that you may see in many, many places. Oops, not that. Guys, there is this tiny little thing here. Everybody write down in the book, Aura PWD. I know we've written that down before. What is that Aura PWD? When you write there, write this there for me. Just write there, used to create the password file. it's also inside Oracle Home Bin. If you type Ora PWD, it's going to ask you, oh, what's the file name? That password file that was stored inside DBS, Oracle Home DBS, is created using Ora PWD. Okay? And I'll also highlight, I want you all to say something in your textbook. Host. If you're inside SQL Plus and you ever type host, when you type that word host, what does host do? Exit SQL Plus. So that one.
It is used to create the password and it's also.
No, you used to create the password file. That's it. Yes. Oracle Home Bin. Exit SQL Plus. And execute. And OS command. I'm writing sideways on the glass, guys. That thing host. If you're inside SQL Plus, type host, right? It actually takes you out of SQL Plus. And you can run window commands and type exit, you go back inside SQL Plus. But we're going to use that, but I highlighted it here, so I wanted you guys to see that. Then you go down one more thing. I'm going to put one more thing. Highlight one more thing, then we are almost good to go. Yes. Guys, go down, highlight for me. The last line, it says Ora PWD on Linux. Then when you highlight that, of course, continue where it says, this will create an external password file for the database. The name of the file must be, this is the part that Oracle that comes in your exam, guys. What is the password file called? So the name must be, is just go to catch this now, pwd database name .ora, or if it is Windows, is or that's on Windows, or this on Linux. But you see this in practice quizzes, especially if you like doing them. But if you have the habit of not doing your quizzes, then you'll see that someday and you'll be surprised that, oh, we read that right from day one. Okay, just swing to the next page and we'll talk about one more last thing, then we can get ready to go home. Oh yes. If you're on the next page, guys, that DBCA that was created, right? When we did save, that was saving some scripts. The main script that it saved was one called create DB script. But I just want to point on a few things on this script for you guys. I want you guys to note some few things here. Some few very, 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 very important things. Everybody watch me this word here. Spool. Everybody watch that word spool. And if you go further down, there is spool off. Those two words have a lot to do in common. We come down here, spool off. Then, if you could, still at the top there, yes, highlight where it says set echo on. We must know that. Hey guys, notice where it says spool. Everybody pay attention. It says spool, it gives some directory. After that directory, it gives a file name. Means that spool will create a file. I'm going through because the DBC that we did, right? It does all this thing in the background. I will see. but the scripts are in there. So it's good to understand the script because there are times when you might have to go do this manually, which we will practice in class when we have time. But I want you all to see that's pool and that's pool. So when you go home, you do that exercise, you actually be generating a script that looks exactly like this, but it will be in Linux. Okay? So everybody go down to the bottom of that page. We're going to highlight what does that spool do. Guys, the echo that you see at the top where it says set echo on and the spool commands, they say these things cause C++ to write out everything that happens. When you ever have spool, right, what you're saying is anything that is happening after the word spool should be written in a file. Then when you want to stop writing, you say spool off. You know, like they say you can spool a thread. Yes, so it's the same thing. So whatever is happening is being written into a file until you say spool off. We're going to practice that and you guys to see what that is. And the last thing I want to highlight before you all leave for the weekend, startup no mount. What is startup no mount? This is one of the things you'll see in your Oracle exam. Startup no mount, what does it do? Builds the instance in memory using the static parameter file. That's it. Hey guys, how do you start an instance? Startup no mount. You don't want to connect to a database. You don't want to start an instance. You say startup no mount. It's nothing to do with a database. At that point, you simply started the background processes and the SG. They are not connected to the physical files at all. Startup no mount. So I'm glad they put that here because we're going to see that when we do database startup and shutdown in chapter 2. Swing to the next page for me. So we'll finish chapter 3, right? Not chapter 2. You will swing to the next page for me. I just want to show you one more thing here. Post creation scripts. Don't bother with that. Go down where it says the DBCA's other function. What do we do with DBCA? Already we use it now to create a database. Some of you use it to drop a database too, right? Okay. So everybody must know these functions. So when you see them in your Oracle exam, you should know. So the opening screen of the DBCA gives you 5 options. So there are 5 options, people. Create database, configure database options, delete database, manage templates, configure automatic storage management. That's what DBCA can do for you. But so far, we have done just number 1 and number 3. We're going to do the play with the rest later. Let me see if there's another thing. Go to the tip on the next page. Then we are done with this whole chapter. Behind the scenes, the delete a database. So when you type delete a database, what happens in reality? When you go check delete database with DBCA, what actually happens? The delete the database invokes C++ command, drop the database. There is some protection for this command. The database cannot be dropped at the time. It must be in mount mode. Okay. To drop a database, in other words, to drop a database, it must be in mount mode. So you cannot drop database when people are connected to it. So it shuts down and open in mount mode, then it drops it. That's what that delete database does. But we're going to practice that manually, so you guys will be able to understand that. And that is it for chapter 2. That was supposed to know. And just swing, let's just see. So you guys go home, you know what? Instance management. That's actually what I was intended teaching today. We'll have to go through all this. Chapter 3. How do you manage your instance? This is actually where Monday, when we come, everybody, if you have your textbook, just swing to page 103. That's what I wanted to go home and read from page 103. It says the basic instance parameters. We are going to study the instance parameters on Monday. Learn how to add them to a database, take them out, make the SGA bigger, make the SGA smaller. That's what we're going to do on Monday. Okay, and it is from chapter 3. So we're going to do chapter 3 on Monday, and then from there, guys, after this point, after we know how to change our database, shut it down, start it up, that's when we take off this class straight up. That's when we'll just go. But I'm waiting a lot of time because I want you guys to understand the basics. But after these basics, the rest will be like create table space, add data file, delete data file, back up the database. That will be the rest. But you need to understand this section to your fingertips. So hopefully this is helping. So, hey guys, was everybody able to log into their OEM before we leave for the day? I wonder when you go home, you are able to play with that database. Is everybody able to log into their OEM? What was your error? Okay, everybody's gonna watch me. I'm gonna do a few commands. Number one, to log into OEM, right? The first thing is listener must.
You're talking about the Oracle
Hmm?
OEM. Are you talking about what we did earlier?
No. You create a database. Have you connected to it? What's the point of a database? You cannot connect to it. So I'll simply, everybody just how to connect to OEM.
Right.
How to connect to the database that and OEM. How do we do that? So, guys, number one, start database. How do you start up your database? Start up that database, guys, very simple. And remember, everything we're doing in this class is as the user oracle. Root is scarcely, maybe we actually done with root. SQL plus, type this. SQL plus, / as sys DBA. That is the command. That's how you connect to your database. Either you do that or you type SQL plus sys. Only sys can start the database in the first place. Sys as sys DBA. So you must be able to do that. Once you connect in, you then type one word. Start up. That's it. Your database will start up.
/space.
Yes. In this one here.
Yeah.
Nope, you don't have to be in Oracle Home. It can be anywhere. But as long as the .voice profile is installed. Remember, as a DBA, right? Whenever I connect to the database, you make sure you can do echo Oracle Home. If you echo Oracle Home and nothing shows, then you cannot type SQL plus. And if nothing shows means you have to sort the .bash profile. Okay. Then So number 2, start the listening. Start listening. As a matter of fact, I want to go back to the top where it says start database. We usually say start up database. I want to go to right start up database. So you always know that will help you to understand that it is typing startup. So start the listener. And how do you start the listener, everyone? LSNRCTL. Guys, then you type start. That's it. Oh, yeah. I did that wrong. That should be CTL. Start. Hey, remember when you type start, you can type stop. You can type status. You want to know if it's running? Status, right? Okay. So maybe let me just put this here in black. So you could type status, you could type stop.
So the first command is equal plus.
You could type reload.
Then the next command is start up.
Yeah, once you log into SQL Plus, you do startup. That's how you start your listener. Number 3. Start DB. No. Let me call it start OEM. DB console. Start OEM DB console. That's in here. How do you start that bad boy? Very simple. Type EMCTL. Status DB console. Why do you type this command? Type the command just to see if it's running or not. To see if OEM is running. If it's not running, then you type that same command. But now you type start. Going home those start. And you enter the same thing. And that's it. That bad boy should start. Then when that thing starts, or is running, we've typed that status or is running. These commands would show you the URL. These commands will display the URL needed or the browser. Guys, this thing you're taking it to connect into the browser. All right. Then you can just copy it and go paste it, or you can type it. Otherwise, let me make a note here for everybody. Note, it is actually better to run this in Google Chrome than to run it inside the Linux machine. Note, the note here will be, get another pin. To execute, no, it's not the word execute, it's to access the OEM through Google Chrome. Change, oops, the server or host name in the URL to its IP address. Hope everybody knows their IP address and know how to find it in the first place. And that's it. Those who have time, can you try to connect to your thing? For example, for me guys, I'm right here. I want everyone to see if I'm let me do it in a window that you guys can all see. Okay, I'm right here, guys. Clear. So the first thing I'm going to do is check if my database is running. Oh, and by the way, if my .bash profile is not sourced, I can never ever connect in the first place. If I want to check if my .bash profile is sourced, I would do something like echo $ oracle _ home. Every DBA, everybody in this class should know this path by default. Once it shows, I know I can access that Oracle Home bin that contains my whatever. Then I'll simply do this at this point. Now I can type SQL plus, lowercase only, SQL plus / as sysdba. That's it, sysdba. Once you do that, that's the only way you connect. Only sys can start the database. Never try system. Sys is the super user of the database, the administrator, the owner of the data dictionary. So what does it say? Nope. Connected to an idle instance. Everybody better put this in the middle of their head. Idle instance means database is not running. Therefore, I type the word start up. If ever, whenever you see idle instance, you have to type the word, one word, start up. Boom, database should come up. Except there's no database. If there's a database, it should start up. So the database comes up, it must go with mounted, and then it will go to open. I want you guys to watch. Whenever I start Oracle, the first thing it does is instant started. The second thing it will do is database mounted. With the instance, these are the SGA things and all of that. The SGA in this database is that size. And there's some fixed memory that must be given. Then there's some variable, there's some database buffers, and there's redo buffers. You see that? Good. But you don't care about these numbers. Anyway, the big thing is this: instance started, database mounted, database open. If they ask you at an Oracle exam, it will be those three things. What are the steps for a database startup? Instance started, database mounted, database open. So at this, I know my database is running. Now I can type exit. I am out. I didn't write it there. I want you guys to write where we did startup. Everybody should go back in their note and put exit after startup. After startup, you type exit. Everybody add that at the bottom of startup.
So you have to exit before you start the listener.
Yes. You cannot start the listener inside SQL Plus. Everybody type exit after the word startup. Or not after, but under. So now, what was my number 2 on that list? Start the listener. So guys, start listener, LS. Let me tell you guys, when I studied Oracle for the first time, right, it was difficult for me to remember LSNRCTL. You have to pronounce this thing like 20 times. Just say one day, I want to know this. LSNRCTL, LSNRCTL, until it becomes muscle memory. You can just say it. LSNRCTL, LSNRCTL, LSNRCTL. If you're coming, you know how to recite Hail Mary. You can recite that one too. Okay, here we go. LSNR. Guys, I want everyone to pay attention. LSNR stands is short form for listener. You guys see that? And then CTL is control. So this is the listener control utility. That's how they call it. EMCTL, Enterprise Manager Control Utility. Okay, whenever I see those CTL, it's control utilities. Okay, but guys, if I type this, well, by the way, I want everybody to watch something. If I type and hit enter, look at my prompt. It changes to LSNRCTL. You guys see that? I want you guys to watch. If I type help, it gives me all the possible commands for the listener. Therefore, with this command, with the listener, I can do start, I can do stop, I can check status of the listener. I can check services the database is listening, this thing is listening on. I can check the version of the listener. I can reload the listener in case I did some changes. I can save the configuration. I can trace it, I can spawn it, it has a password. You can give a password to the listener so that if somebody does not know the password, they can never stop your listener. Then I can quit after I finish using it, right? Then I can exit. Quit or exit do the same thing. I can type show, I can set. I want to go, let me type show and see. Look at that, it gives you so many things I don't really need to know them. Forget that. Now I can type this, stop. That stops my listener. This is because I went inside the utility, right? But I can just type in one line, LSNRCTL stop. I don't go inside, I just stop from the outside. Because I know what I'm doing. But if I forgot some of the commands, I can log inside and I type help, I see them. So guys, what does it say? You're always going to see it like this. Completed successfully. Now I can type what? I can type status. Just STAT is the same as state, is it? Yeah. No, it will fit in start. But I can type that. No, status. Hit enter. It tells me no listener is running. Did you guys see that? Then now I can type start. Boom. Command completed successfully. Now if I type status, oops, hit enter, it tells me the listener is running. Oh, successful. But if I go all the way to the top, I'll see all the other things. Guys, if I can go now, I can see my port. I can see the day the listener was started. It's been running just for 9 seconds. So you could go, okay, find out. The listener run for 1 year. It's never gone down. You can go see that. Type this status. Status. It will tell you how long that boy has been running. So now, after I finish this, we're not done. We didn't finish the last thing yet. You're going by, you're going to connect. So watch this. Now I type exit or quit and I'm out. So the next command was now to do Let me clear my screen. Start start Oracle Enterprise Manager is EMCTL. You guys keep noting that CTL everywhere, right? Enterprise Manager Control. Now I can type this status. You guys what? DB console. If I hit enter, it's going to check. It's going to tell me that that thing is not running. Maybe it's running. I don't know. And watch this. Oh, it says it's running. You guys see that? So when I do it, I check that it's running. And it gives me the URL right here, K. If you ever forget your URL, which most people do, you could come see it right here. The most important thing is that port number. If I do stop, it's going to stop. But now that it's running, I can now do this, guys, copy. This is all I need. I don't even need to copy the rest of it. I can just copy here or copy the whole thing. It doesn't matter. But all the way up to here.
Earlier when I connected to your computer, I didn't need the port number.
Okay. So you didn't know it. But guys, watch that port. In an Oracle exam, you must have a question that they'll give variation. They'll ask you, which is the OEM URL? They'll give a database name, then they give different ones. Which one is the one? Because this is the tool we use to manage and monitor the database, right? So it's a tool that as a DBA, you connect to it almost every day. So you must know that URL up by heart. Okay, but guys, now I copy this. I've copied it. Now I can go to my thing right here and I paste it. Let me paste it right here. But if I hit enter, it's not going to go for one reason only. That name. I want you guys to see K, why that will not work. The way you test thing is because that's the computer name. So if I do ping and I enter, and I enter that name, test T, it will tell me that unknown. You see that? So I'll translate that to the IP address and it will go. So watch that. Ping request could not find host. You see that? And I know the IP address ends with 30. That's why I named the machine this way so I can remember. So if I do ping 192.168.1.30, it should tell me reply. So it's working. So I'll change that name to this one. So I go back here and I slowly take off that and I paste that thing there, hit enter, and it should bring me to this screen and it will tell you not secure. But you're trying to connect to it, but Windows thing is you're going to some bad side. So I'll simply do, hey, advance, proceed. It's on save, yeah, I don't mind, take me there. And it comes here. Then when it comes here, you can log in as sys or system. If I want to log in as system, no, if I want to log in as sys, it must be, the password is sys, I remember, it must be as sysdba. Sys only connect as sysdba. And only sys can connect like that because he's a guy who can shut down the database. He can drop the database. He can do anything to that database. But whenever you're trying to connect as sys, make sure you add as sysdba. So if I do that, guys, and I hit login, that should connect me into my OE. Everybody should at least know that. That's how you get into that system. And I'm in the database. This is the tool that Oracle recommends to use to monitor a database. You want to add a table space, you can add it through here. You want to add a data file, you can do here. But this is for babies, for new DBAs. This is good because it shows you the database visually.
Oh, this is the one you have to click.
Yes, click. But it works if you have just one or two databases. But if you have 50 databases, then this is not too practical. You have to convert everything to scripts, and it's much easier. So, if you go home, did you created that database? And did it end? Did you have the URL?
Not the URL.
Yes. If you finish creating correctly, it must give you that URL. If it doesn't, then it did not work correctly and you will never connect to it. So everybody, guys, when you go home, you have trouble connecting to this, put something in the group chat. And you guys have that exercise in the book to do. And let me tell you guys, before you start that exercise, make sure the listener is running before you start. Then, if you start and you finish, you're going to give you the URL at the end. Then you know you're successful. All right.
This first one is they are testing what
So,
SQL
you say what? Yeah, good night.
All right. Good night, Prof.
Yes. Good night. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Prof.
Yeah, no, for you it's 5 a.m.
Yeah, the thing came. Yes, the database configuration came.
It came up.
The database configuration assistant. Yes, it came up.
So just follow that note now. I know after a long time like that will
Yes.
disconnect without you using it. So if it disconnects, just start it up again. It will take a long time because of the distance, but you just go
Yes.
next, and it should work.
Yes, I'll try.
we say we put the SQL flow.
SQL Plus.
Yes, Prof.
All right.
Please send us the link of the class.
Of the notes.
Yes, the class, so that we can follow up again.
Okay, I would do that.